Good afternoon on what is a mild, bright and sunny day. It is Friday the 28th of February. I'm in the reading up, a nice hot cup of tea. And a box to continue unboxing. And what I've got in here is Kingmaker by Sonia Purnell. Now, Kingmaker, of course, is someone who sits in the background and has the power and influence to maneuver people into roles of power and responsibility. Obviously, most notably comes from a description of Richard of Warwick during the Wars of the Roses, and actually there is a board game named Kingmaker, named for him, and it's a very good board game too. So this is about a figure who is just been described as a Kingmaker. So Pamela Churchill Harriman's astonishing life of seduction, intrigue and power. So an electrifying examination or re-examination of one of the 20th century's great unsung power players. When Pamela Churchill Harriman died in 1997, the obituaries that followed were scathing and often downright sexist. Written off as a social climber, her glamorous social life and infamous erotic adventures overshadowed her true legacy. Much of what she did behind the scenes to shape the 20th century on both sides of the Atlantic remained invisible. That is until now. With a wealth of fresh research, Sonia Purnell unveils for the first time the full spectacular story of how Harriman left an indelible mark on the world today. There is precisely no one in 20th century politics, culture and fashion whose life she did not touch. Her influence began at the age of 20 when her father-in-law, Winston Churchill, engaged her as a secret weapon during the Second World War, seducing Americans over to the American cause against Hitler. It continued later in the US, where she handpicked Bill Clinton for obscurity and vaulted him to the presidency. It extended further over 5 decades and 2 continent influencing figures like the Kennedys, Nelson Mandela, Truman Capote, Gianni Agnelli, Kay Graham, Gloria Steinem and Frank Sinatra, written with the novelistic richness and investigative rigour that only Sonia Purnell can bring to this story full of sex, power, yachts, palaces and fabulous clothes. Kingmaker sets Harriman in a rightful place at the heart of recent history. So this is, in effect, sort of, there was a book that came out recently which was talked about the influence of Pamela Churchill over sort of essentially Franklin D. Roosevelt's envoy to the United Kingdom, and then basically then over sort of like the relations between the United States and Soviet Russia over Stalin. But this looks at more than that. This looks at the whole of her influential life. So we've got some quotes here, and one of them is actually pertinent because it's from Giles Milton, who is the author of the book I was referring to, which is The Stalin Affair. Which is on my to read at some point pile, along with a lot of other books, and this book will be joining them. So, prologue, and we begin with war. And Pamela origins, and basically her rise to prominence as a member sort of like of social society, and so on, all the way through the book. So I'm really going to show you some of the photographs in here, because obviously I'm just showing you sort of big blocks of text, as it were, and that gets a bit tedious, of course. So here we have first photographs of Pamela as a child, and basically Pamela at home in Dorset in 1937 with her parents Lord and Lady Digby. So yes, and then her basically escaping Dorset for a life on the social scene, and having a family of her own, and then her relationship with Churchill, and some of her first conquests, like the correspondent there, Ed Morrow, famous for his broadcast from London during the Blitz. And other figures that she encountered and dealt with. So we've got, and the second set of photographs is really from later in her life, after the war. So essentially when she was actually friends with Wallace Simpson, who the wife of Edward VII, Edward VII or Edward VIII, I can't remember. Another figure she's got involved with, including with the Kennedys there. And let's just shift over the page. And, or including the Carters and Bill Clinton. And Jacques Chirac of France. Is that Chirac? Yep. And then sort of like being brought back, and basically, you know, her with her coffin and her funeral, sort of like, you know, almost taking on a state funeral, province of the state funeral, and there's the last photograph of her, and so on. So book also there's a section of notes. They're not particularly illuminating. Some notes you find are you get some books which are more interesting than others in terms of the notes. This isn't one of them. It's really page references for fact checking. You have a selected bibliography for further reading, picture credits, acknowledgements, and index. And that is it, with the author's blurb on the inside fly cover. So yes, that's Kingmaker, Pamela Churchill Harriman's astonishing life of seduction, intrigue and power and influence over politics in the 20th century, both here in the United Kingdom and also in the United States. Well, I look forward to giving this a read in due course. In the meantime, I do hope you enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you did, then please do click on the like button down below. And if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a box containing a book or game or role-playing supplement, in this case, a biography of an important figure in the 20th century, which I'll unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.